Welcome, welcome to Thrive Thursday. Today we are outside. We have some construction going outside of our yard. So hopefully that does not impede you hearing us. Please let us know if you can hear us. Welcome. We are getting set up, ensuring that everybody can hear us before we move on. I do apologize for the noise if you could hear it outside. And there is some construction right outside of our right outside of our backyard. So I do apologize if you hear it. So welcome back to Cultivating with Sandra. Today is Thursday, so welcome to our Thrive Thursday. Today we are going to be doing some garden updates. We're gonna walk you through the garden. We may do some harvesting, um, and then we will show you how to boost your soil, how to do your. It's trying to reconnect. It's the connection. Okay, give us a second. Sorry about that. So welcome back to. Give us a second. Give us a second as we are having connectivity issue. I'm not sure if that connectivity issue is due to the repairs outside of our yard, but we are working to restore with some alternative way. So I do apologize. We will start shortly, but our Facebook Live may not be able to come through. So we'll try one more time on Facebook Live. And if we can't, then we'll go ahead and continue with our YouTube Live. Give us a second. Thank you for your patience. Technology. Here we go. So we'll try one more time with Facebook Live. Otherwise, we'll just continue with YouTube Live. Okay, seems like we have temporary connected to you to Facebook. If we can't, I do apologize. We will we will try to put it at a later time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. Um, Today is Thursday, so it's Stripe Thursday. Today we are gonna be going over our salad garden as well as the 4 beds that we planted. Also, we are gonna go with how to help our soil survive or thrive during this time. So we will be making some compost tea. So since we already been a little bit late, let's go ahead and start with our salad garden. Our salad garden has grown, is actually 4 weeks old, and it is growing. So if we wanted to harvest it, we could start harvesting the outer leaves. So if you look right here, we could do, this is the outer leaf of this one, and then you could just eat it. That was good. So that is our garden. You can start this pretty much anytime before the summer really comes. It does not like hot weather. Okay. So then we go to this bed. This is our first bed that we did. So we have radishes here. We have arugula. We have peas. Our kale is slowly coming up. But if we remember, let me see if I could squeeze through here. If we remember, we planted these radishes. Can you give me the seed packets? So what we planted on this side was different to what we planted on that side, and what we planted on this side was this type of looking radishes. He said that it took 30 days. It takes 30 days from seed to harvest. So we see that they're coming up right here. So if we wanted to, we could start harvesting these. And this is our radish, our first radish of the season. There are some more, and there are actually some bigger. So this is our radishes. Remember, the younger the radishes are, the less bitter they are. So you can harvest this now, you could harvest this later. But once you see them like this, that you could see them out of the ground, it is pretty much time to harvest. Or if you want them a little bit longer, you will heal them. Meaning, look at this one. This one is pretty good. So what we can do, or what we could have done, is every 2 weeks we could have done another row to have continuous harvest. Uh, but that is up to you. So later on today, I will plant another row of radishes since I harvested already 4, and this can grow a lot bigger. But remember, the bigger they are, the more, I consider it, the more bitter they are. The arugula is nicely growing. If you wanted to harvest arugula, you always want to do the outer leaf, which actually the bigger leaf. Oh my God, this is way better than the arugula salad I had a couple of weeks ago. So that's that. And then on this side, we planted the other type of radishes. And this one was the early scarlet. It's supposed to be 22 days for harvest. That one was 30 days, and 30 days is in a couple of days. So those were ready earlier. These ones are 22 days. So technically, it is, we were supposed to harvest this six days ago, but these ones are not popping out like those were. And like, see, they're not really ready. So what we'll do, we'll add some, we'll heal them, which means we put more soil around it, and then let them continue. Remember, dates are what people suggest in the past is an average harvest time, but that doesn't mean that they all will harvest at the same time. So these that were supposed to finish before those, um, are not ready. Okay, so we'll move on to the next bed. And right here, we see our tomatoes. Our peppers are doing great. We have one. Let me see if I can zoom. Here we have a cucumber that's sprouted right here. So that's coming up. We have one cucumber. If you could see it, I don't know. It's behind this sign. That's sprouted on this side. And of course, we still got our carrot from last season that is not to the fullest size. Then we'll go to this bed number 3 or 2, but it's the third one we're watching today. We still see our carrots. They're still growing. These are supposed to be baby carrots, and we probably will pull them pretty soon because they will start stealing nutrients from what is supposed to be growing now, which is our peppers and our tomatoes. On this one, you can see that three cucumber seeds sprouted on this side and only one on this side, which is okay. And then we have our tomato here and tomato here. I don't know if you can notice right here, we have some ants. And the reason that we have these ants, these ones will eat decayed items in our soil. So these ones will not harm our plants, but I still really don't care for them. So when we do our compost tea and we pour our compost tea or soak our or drench our soil in compost tea, these ones will really go away. So right now I'm not too worried about it, but know that some of the ants are beneficial in your garden and some of them are not. Okay. Um, if you use a diatomaceous earth and it doesn't kill the ants or get rid of the ants, it's because they're beneficial ants. I mean ants for the garden. Although I do not care for them. Okay. And then for our last one, our last bed, we have our, oh, let me zoom out in Facebook. Hold on. We have our cilantro and we have our, oh, and at least I can zoom out. Oh, there we go. We have our cilantro and we have our parsley that is really growing high. Now, if you notice, if you are planting cilantro, cilantro does not like this weather. Cilantro does not like anything over 85 degrees. So it will shoot up this stem. If you notice, the leaves on this cilantro are smaller than the regular cilantro. So that means that this stem is trying to go to seed. So if you don't want it to go to seed, you want your cilantro to last as long as possible, you will find the bottom of the stem and you will carefully cut it. So that means that this plant will last a little bit longer than because that is what allows it to go into seed. This one, it has two. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut them to make sure our cilantro doesn't go to seed. So remember, these are a lot smaller and the taste changes. So you really do not, I don't think you're gonna like the way this tastes. And also you could tell how they are so super shiny. So those is because it's trying to go to seed. The same thing on this one. So we'll cut it and you see how fat the stem is. The stem is super fat compared to our regular stem for the cilantro. So we'll cut these to make sure that our cilantro lasts longer. Another thing that you can do is that you can put a shade cloth over this. Remember that I had a shade some pipes that went across. You could put some shade cloth so it could shelter to minimize the sun so it won't go to seed so fast. So that's possible. The parsley is spreading crazy because it's too thinking the summer's coming and it's trying to go to seed. So that is something that you have to pay attention because cilantro do not like hot weather. Anything over 85 degrees is like, no, no, thank you. So what we're gonna do today, the rest of the live, we are going to make a compost tea that will help our plants grow and provide nourishment. Remember, the more nourishment your soil has, the less weeds you have to, deal with, and this healthier your your produce or your vegetables are. So, without further ado, let's make our compost tea. For a compost tea, you are going to need a 4 gallons of unchlorinated water. So I'll see right here. So 4 gallons of unchlorinated water. This is what I have here. It's better if you have rainwater, but it hasn't been raining. So what you do, you fill out a bucket with regular tap water, and then you let it rest at least 24 hours. This one has rested a couple of weeks because I didn't need it. So right now I need it. So we have 4 gallons of water here. What you're gonna need is a tea bag. I buy this in Amazon. And you're gonna need compost. You're gonna need this is mushroom compost. You're gonna need worm casting. You're gonna need, well, I'm gonna use chicken manure and unsulfured molasses. Okay, so we are gonna make this. Oh, and you also need a pump. It could be a solar pump, those fish pumps, or it could be a battery operated pump. So you need a pump. Now, for every gallon, you need 1 cup of fertilizer. So let's say you just want to make 1 gallon, you will put half a cup of your mushroom compost, a fourth cup of your worm casting, and a fourth cup of your chicken manure. Let's say that you don't have chicken manure. That's fine. Do half a cup of the mushroom compost, of whatever compost you have. Make sure it's finished compost, and half a cup of your worm casting. So whatever you do is 1 cup per gallon. So 1 cup per gallon. We're doing four gallons. So let's put it in. So I'm gonna need 2 cups. Always more. Your highest ingredient should be your mushroom compost. So we're gonna do 2 parts or whatever it is, 2 parts of your compost. I like mushroom, so I got 1 cup here, and this is 2 cups. So this is 2 parts. If you want to do it by parts, then we're gonna do the worm casting, and that is 1 part of worm casting. So we put out 1 cup. So now we have 3 parts, and we're now gonna get to our last part, the one that I keep aside because it's the stinkiest, which is your chicken manure. Your chicken manure is the most balanced compost that you could have. You have enough nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and that is what your plants need for for the roots, for the leaves, and also for the fruit. So you put all of that in a bag. Now, some people you could add, if you wanted to, you could boost this one even more by adding wood ash and or by adding eggshell. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this simple recipe here. But before we put it in, we have to put 2 tablespoons of unsulfur molasses. This is what is going to feed your your bacteria, your microbiologist. This is what's going to feed it. You don't have this, your good bacteria, your microbacteria is not going to be able to grow. So you need some type of sugar. My sugar is molasses, which is one of the healthiest sugars for microbiology. So I want to make sure I have all of it. So that's my molasses. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my pump. This is usually in my garden room, which is under construction, under remodeling. So that's why we're doing this outside. But I will take this inside. Um, it really likes the temperature at least 75, 80 degrees. So if you wanted to, you could put if you keep your house under 70 degrees or at least under 75 degrees, you could put a heating mat underneath. I'm trying to look for something to stir this. I forgot. I forgot. Ooh. Hold on. There's a wasp there. So let me not get that one. Let me get this one. So you want to stir it. Make sure that it doesn't stick at the bottom. My piece of wood has a guest that I don't want to bother. So I see that my molasses is pretty much, let me bring you closer. My molasses is pretty much um, stir in there. You could just move this part. Okay, and once that is done, what you want to do is you want to tie your mushroom compost, your worm casting, and your chicken manure to the bucket. I do not let mine rest all the way at the bottom because it can plug or stuff that I'm afraid is gonna plug that, or it will suction too much of my aerator. So that's it. That's how you make um um composting. The other thing is that you let it aerate for 24 to 36 hours. 24 to 36 hours. After 24 hours, you could turn this off, take this out, and go ahead and drench your soil. Now, some notes or some um, warnings. If you have seedlings, like there's seedlings that they're very, 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 very young, make sure that you dilute this, half of this, 1 part compost tea to 1 part water, and then you bottom feed the tea. If your plants are already established in there in the garden, then you could go ahead and soil drench this. I recommend that you right before harvest that you don't do it. um you want it to allow it to give that last boost of nourishment before you harvest, and that is for vegetables like your beetroot, any root vegetables, or salad. I don't add compost seeds to my salad garden because I want to harvest all the time. But this doesn't hurt anything, but it will shoot some new, it will taste better. Your fruit will give it some new nourishment. Remember, this is for the biology of your soil. This is so because tomatoes and peppers are heavy feeders. You want to make sure that you give them the available, readily available nutrients, and this compost tea will do that for it. So I will, once this is done, I will go ahead and put it on my garden beds, and I will make sure that my soil are drenched. I will not be putting this on my leaves. I am not going to spray it on my leaves, especially because we don't know how hot the sun is going to be. We don't want our leaves to be burnt. So this is how to make compost tea. It is a simple recipe. There are hundreds, probably thousands of recipe. This is the most easiest, simplest one that also provides you the NPK that you need because of this wonderful stinky chicken manure. So, any questions? So yes, this has to sit 24 to 48, 24 to 36 hours before you use it. So let it, make sure that it aerates. You could keep it outside if you want to. You could bring it inside if you want to. Just make sure that it doesn't stay still. If you don't want to air, if you don't have one of these aerators, what you can do, you could still do it. But every 2 hours, go ahead and stir it, and then another 2 hours stir it. It's time consuming, but it also can be done. And then overnight, well, overnight it doesn't get stirred because you're asleep. But you can, in the morning, you could stir it again, and make sure that it's done for 24 to 36 hours so it can be ready for usage. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel. Next week we'll do a different tea or a different nutrient booster for your plants that you can do from ingredients at home. Um, so if there are no other questions, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.